Antarctica, where you're very high latitude, closer to the pole, the photo period is exaggerated. So because of that, it's light 24 hours a day. You may have heard of this in Alaska, where in the summer the sun doesn't go below the horizon. The same is true in Antarctica. That's what we're experiencing in here right now. So I have a bay of lights in here that is full spectrum, and every single light that can be on is on, and they're going to be on 24 hours. So 12, 1, 2 a.m., these lights are going to be on. And that's how the birds in here know what season it is. It's actually 25 degrees in here year-round. The temperature doesn't matter because it's always cold in Antarctica. But what changes from season to season is the photo period, meaning the length of day, how long it's light, how long the sun is above the horizon, and also the intensity of light. Now this is important, and it's one of the reasons we're so successful here at SeaWorld San Diego, because by replicating those lighting schedules, the birds know what time of year it is and can coordinate their behavior. Out of their natural habitat, the sunlight is going to tell them when it's time to come out of the ocean, come back to land, find their mate, create a nest, do some housekeeping, lay eggs and raise babies, and then it also will dictate to them when it's time to replace their feathers in what's called an annual molt. So the same thing happens inside of here, and because we follow those lighting schedules, our birds follow those same schedules that the ones out in South America, South Africa, New Zealand, and Australia, as well as Antarctica, are all following as well. So that's a little bit about what's happening here now. I'm going to tell you now some of those insights into how we care for these animals. A lot of what you don't see happens before the park opens. Every single day we thaw out about a third or a half of this exhibit. I'm standing on fresh snow, several inches of it, and then below that is cement, which creates the shelf that I'm standing on. Every day we thaw out a good portion of the snow from the day before, and that allows us to clean. Now, out in nature, nobody's cleaning, and you can actually see a penguin colony from space, even when the birds aren't there because of what they leave behind. You can also smell it from miles and miles away before you get there. Now, here at SeaWorld, we like things to be a little bit cleaner, not just for the birds, but also for you. So what we do is we thaw out some of the snow from the day before, and what's left all goes down into drains to sewer. Then we're left with a cement slab, which we disinfect, and we create new snow on top of that. We have what basically amounts to a huge snow cone machine or like a shave ice machine. It's behind the scenes here. And with pressurized air, we blow that through a hose. We bring that hose in here and we put a dusting of snow over the entire exhibit. Now the birds love it because they actually play in that snow, they bathe in that snow, and they eat that snow. But as you can imagine, thawing the snow in the morning with a fire hose at full strength and then blowing the snow through a system with pressurized air is very physically demanding. So what a lot of people don't realize is that obviously this is an incredible job and it's a huge privilege to work in here with these animals, but it's also very, very hard work. It's like being any kind of animal keeper or farmhand. There's always going to be a lot of physical labor that's involved with that. And of course, in addition to that, there's scrubbing and moving rocks and washing dishes and prepping fish. So it is a lot of effort, and a lot of that happens before you actually get here into the park. Another thing that we do every single day that happened during our first presentation is we clean these windows from the inside. We physically get into the water wearing a wetsuit, and we wash the windows from the inside and squeegee them so that we can remove some of the salt water and some of the splashes that the penguins do. That is not the most comfortable thing that we do. It is very, very cold, but it's also kind of exciting to be in their environment and to do that, and it provides a better opportunity for you guys to see them. So it's a really important part of our daily operations. So that's just kind of just scratch the surface about what happens here in the exhibit, about what you're seeing and what's going on right now. But I really want to open this up to your questions because as an example of our inside look, we'd like you to learn things that you're most interested in. So I'm going to throw it back to Bethany, and if you guys have questions, she's going to relay this into